My name is Rufus Daugherty. I'm the president and co-founder of Liberia Economic Development Initiative. Liberia is a very poor country. Liberia was listed in 2013 as the 5th poorest country, and I think that statistics still remain. We had a civil war in Liberia, and that civil war started in 1999 and lasted for about 15 years. And during that civil war, there were a lot of casualties, collateral damages, and a lot of casualties that the war produced. And my father actually was a member of one of those casualties. My father got killed during the war. It was painful for me. My siblings who were born that I did not even get to see, two of my siblings got killed. The other one was adopted, and we didn't know what happened to her today. And it was painful for me, and it was really painful to the extent that I didn't know what to do. But then there was a voice, I believe it's a voice of God, that kept telling me, Rufus, one of the reasons why your parents and other people are being killed is a lack of education. So what you can do is to find a way to educate people.
My name is Joanne Curran Daugherty, and I am the co-founder of Liberia Economic Development Initiative, or LEDI. Part of my story in connection with the Liberian Civil War specifically is kind of like what's going on in any country where there's civil discourse, civil war. It affects all levels of society, whether you're living in the country or abroad. And my parents are both firstborns, and so they felt huge responsibilities to their family members who were still living abroad. So while the 15-year Civil War was going on, it's like we were going through it even though we were in the United States. Every penny that my parents worked for, they sent half of everything back home to support people during the war, to make sure they had food, because there were no jobs. There was very little commerce, very little resources available. And so people in the diaspora were basically doing anything and everything that they could to help their family members abroad survive. I met my husband at a conference in New Jersey.
And during that event, she made a presentation, and I liked her story. I liked, her presentation, and we started talking.
We got to see that we shared a common bond in terms of caring for people, being servant leaders.
And we started talking on how to reduce poverty, because her topic was on poverty reduction. My interest is poverty reduction. We started this organization as a concept. My wife and myself, Joanne, have really fought hard, used our personal resources to really get us to where we are today.
By the efforts of all those who have put their hands in our hands, we have grown to a good level, but we want to grow even more.
In most of the schools in Liberia right now, probably 95% of the kids don't have access to computer. According to a study that was conducted some time ago, sometimes it's like maybe one book to probably 2,000 students or something like that in Liberia. So the educational materials are not there.
When you are illiterate, it's almost like you're blind. When you're illiterate, it's almost like you cannot fully participate in society the way that others can. When you're illiterate, it's as if you can't have access that's right at your fingertips. Children who would otherwise be forced into prostitution or farming or digging through dirt for anything that they could find, they're saying that they want to be doctors.
Could be the best lawyers, could be the best engineers, could drive innovation around the world.
That's what scholarships and scholar and scholarly opportunities do. They broaden people's horizons and not only give them a chance at a good life, but give them the opportunity to be valuable contributors and also to give in the future. So this is all part of our vision, not just for today, but giving them a chance to be beneficiaries today, but to be philanthropists tomorrow.
So we thought the way to help students is to give them this scholarship, which would take them from any grade level, to take them through master's degree.
10 students are currently benefiting from this scholarship, and our selection of beneficiaries is carried out on a needs basis.
In our process, we were very, fortunate to find donors who were willing to help us kick off this scholarship program. And one of those donors who helped us is no longer with us, and her name is Leanne Pfeiffer. Right now, there are no public libraries in Liberia. There are some private libraries, maybe for schools having their own libraries, not fully equipped, just few books.
And so by giving people access to libraries, just giving them access to choices, to more options in life, to more tools in their toolkit. And so that's what LEDI is about, equipping people with more tools in that toolkit.
Our major concept for this library is for it to serve as the university of the poor people, where they can go and learn the life skills.
Modern libraries are the key. I believe that giving people access to resources that would be otherwise out of their reach is crucial. And then once you give people the resources, you just watch them blossom.
We are estimating the library to cost about $150,000 to $200,000.
Right now we target funds from anyone who has the heart and desire to give. There are people out there with the resources. And even those who don't have it, your $5, your $20, your $150, and your $1,000 can make a huge difference in making this possible. We also are seeking in-kind donations. The building materials, if you can't give dollars, what about the in-kind donations? The books come later. We have to build the library first, but every little contribution helps.
But in addition to that, it is the donors that we have brought along the way that have helped us. Cleveland State University, take for example, during the Ebola situation in Liberia, Cleveland State University, through the instrumentality of President Ronald Bergman.
So when you graduate from school or you get big, how would you like to do?
Well, I decided to do economic for my major and accounting for my. Sometimes we sell food or start food school fees.
What the greatest challenges you face as a student in your school life? As both different challenges. Yeah, can you please tell us?
One is our school fees. If the scholarship was not going to be awarded to you, who are being in school today?
I can say it was going to be very difficult.
The situation in Liberia is one that many Americans could find it very, very hard to relate to. There are no social services, so when you have poor people here in the United States, many times because of how well established the government is, they're at least getting food stamps. They might be getting some type of health care, even the most basic. They might have WIC or other supplemental programs. That doesn't exist in Liberia. None of those social programs exist. So when you say poor, we mean poor. To sponsor a child in Liberia, it depends on the institution. But just to give you an analogy, at primary through high school, typically ranges from $100 to 300 or let's say $400 a year.
Just from hearing our story, just from seeing our effort, like President Ronald Bergman, like Felton, Director Felton Thomas of the Cleveland Public Library, like Eric Pfeiffer, like Margaret Wong. Those people have inspired us, and we know there are a lot of other people out there, especially some of those people who have helped us to make this event very successful. Are some of the people who inspire us to believe that although you have that desire to help and you don't have the resources, we are a community that can help you to achieve this dream.
I believe that this whole world is about creating momentum. The biggest ocean begins with the tiniest raindrop. And who am I, but nothing bigger than a raindrop in the world. But with momentum, with the energy, with the synergies that we're building, I believe that we can be a tidal wave, a mighty ocean that makes a great impact in the world. And it literally starts with just one person, and not giving up, even though there are challenges, even though the needs are so great, knowing that whatever difference you can make, no matter how small, is huge.
I'm asking this dinner and all of you that tonight came to support this worthy cause to go beyond this dinner and to provide all the support that LEDI needs to sustain its work in Liberia.
LEDI stands by its mission by fighting to reduce poverty, by building modern public libraries, by providing financial scholarships, by financially supporting the Ebola recovery efforts, and by partnering with other organizations to help change and improve the lives of Liberians.
This great organization is working hard to have libraries in Liberia. It's very important to the country, to the educational system, and to the growth of the country.
To my donors, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. To everyone who has poured a seed into LEDI, those present in the room, those who could not attend but who have supported, all the members of the host committee, our videographers, our photographers, every single contributor, our DJs, the Club at Key Center, Cleveland State University, Margaret Wong and Associates, Eric and Marcia Pfeiffer, the late Leanne Pfeiffer. We just want to tell you thank you. Cleveland Public Libraries, we thank each of you from the bottom of our heart.
I want to take this time to say thank you so much for your generosity, for your support and what you continue to do for us. We would not have been here, if people like you were not standing behind us. And beyond that, the audience, the guests that came to participate in this event, to celebrate this event with us today, have also done extremely well in supporting us, in addition to all the support that we have gotten from everybody.